Check, check. It's Willie Waters.
G-Stat, DVD,
I know y'all looking at this saying, "Oh, what in the world going on right now?" But these right here, you can start calling these.
and action.
Yeah, you see, anytime it's breaking news within the entertainment or the sports world, we could jump on here and bring these to you live at a moment's notice, dog. So without further ado, we got to talk about what's going on this week, Stat. Frozen Moment LLC petitions the
Yeah.
court to ask for records to help with forthcoming lawsuit against UMG and Spotify, accusing UMG and engaging in illegal schemes such as bots, payolas, and other methods to inflate not like us numbers. What you think about that, though?
So first of all, you got to let them. First Moments is Drake's company, right?
Yeah, so this is something, well, I just found out. It's basically a company that Drake created. The company been in business since 2009, and he's the sole owner and the sole officer on this company. So what I think is going on is Drake formed this company basically to protect his assets within the music industry, such as songs, anything that he's written. When you say owning your masters, he probably created this company just to own his intellectual property. And people will say, well, why would
Right,
he do that
right,
if he
right,
got OVO? Well, if you know OVO, which is October's very own, is him and his fellow brothers, and it's a whole conglomerate. It's not just Drake. You got 40 and all of these other people that are part of it too. So it's just another way to protect yourself in the legal realm. And he just making sure that he protect his
right,
assets. I know if some of y'all know, Jay-Z did the same thing with S. Carter Enterprises, which owns all of his writings and all of his masters. So just a way to protect yourself.
right.
But from you
Yeah,
saying that, I think that he might have pushed this into the court system, hoping it would fly under the radar because nobody's ever heard of frozen moments up until now. You know what I'm saying? So he might have
right,
thought,
right,
okay, if I
right, right. He probably was trying to do it. He may have been trying to do it under the
and not let it
table,
get to the media, but when you as
and
big as Drake, it's like it's gonna
right,
happen. You got people whose sole purpose
it's
is to
gonna
sit
happen.
and check the clerk of courts, and anytime something go in, they going straight to the media. Oh, this just happened. Be the first to report.
Right, right, right. And I think, see, with Drake's situation, like the label would actually leak that information
Mm,
too, because here's the thing, um, it's two sides to
yeah,
this. You know, it's like art and commerce. You understand what I'm saying? So the art part is the culture, and then you have the business part, which is
yeah,
commerce,
yeah,
the
yeah,
money. So now he's probably trying to protect the business side, which is his entity, because it's Drake name itself is a big entity. So now you have someone that has all this leverage on you with this song that's basically calling you a pedo.
yeah,
That's gonna kind of like hurt your entire
yeah.
entity with businesses. So if you have endorsements over here and endorsements over there, they're not gonna want to have their name attached to somebody of that
Hmm.
liking. You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, and it almost has like a double-edged sword right now,
Why you say that?
because from the culture standpoint, we know how rap battles are. Like even like on Smack and so forth, you could have a Smack rap battle and so forth. Like Smack never says who won the battle.
Mm,
It's just written in essence. You just know if you're a battle rap fan, you just know who won the battle. No one could come and say, "Let me push this 1,000 times over to make you like this song more than the other song" in a battle world. In the culture world, it's just no. Now, as far as the bots and so forth, I can't sit up and say they didn't use bots. I think that bots are used for every single artist. I mean, if you, it's so simple. It's so simple to figure out. It's so simple to figure out if bots are used. It's all you have to do is check who could sell
there
out a
you
show.
go.
Who's streaming
There you go.
who's streaming a bunch of numbers. They streaming a bunch
Yeah,
of numbers, but this doesn't translate to
yeah, yeah,
shows. See, streaming is
yeah,
software.
yeah, yeah.
any software could be manipulated.
Absolutely. Yep.
We know that.
Yep.
Those ticket sales, those hard ticket sales, is hardware. You can't manipulate that. You understand what I'm saying? So obviously people are buying. Come on, man. You know that people buy this. Bots are used all over. It's so crazy that I feel as though like Drake know that they were using bots because they was doing it for him
That might be true.
prior
That
to
might
that.
be true.
So it's like I don't know. I feel as though it's like he's fighting. I don't want to say a lose-lose battle,
Hmm.
but it could be a lose-lose battle because he's fighting the powers that be. I mean, but hey, to make a change, sometimes these type of things has
Yeah.
to happen, you
Yeah.
know. But we ain't gonna sit up in there and act like this. Like we ain't gonna sit up in there and act like Payola just
Hmm.
started
Hmm.
yesterday.
Hmm.
We ain't gonna do that. We ain't
Yeah.
gonna do that. You understand what I'm saying? That's we everyone gets tired of hearing this certain record on the radio. So who's requesting
Yeah.
it? Everyone would be like, oh, they always playing this. Who's requesting it?
Well, for me, it's two things.
You know what I
Two
mean?
things
So,
come to mind. Like looking at this situation for me, it's
mhm.
when I look at this, I say, man, David versus Goliath is one of them. Cause,
Yes, yes,
man, and Drake is David, and UMG and the powers that be is Goliath. Because yo, music business been around 140 years plus. Drake's been in the music industry
right.
the last 15 years. You think that this power and entity that's been around for 140 years is going to let this guy that just came around the last decade and alter their whole system that they've spanned multi generations to create? You got to be like, that's a very
And you saw
big
that.
uphill battle. I'm not saying it's impossible.
That's a huge
I
uphill
don't I don't
battle.
think nothing is impossible, but man, you fighting, you gotta know what fight you fighting and who you up against. Knowing is half the battle.
Facts, facts, facts. That I agree. That I agree. You have to know. And I don't know. I am sure he knows what he's up against, but it's kind of like he's fighting for his life per se, because it's like, yo, I'm losing here and there and everywhere. It's kind of like I have to discredit. The only thing that's left for me to do is to discredit this song so that I could gain some traction and let everyone know, like, hey, well, this is a lie, and then everyone knows that this is a lie. That's the only thing that's left. I think that Kendrick just hit him where it hurt, and
And for me,
he was prepared to do it. And
for me, the other thing I look at this at is like I feel like two things could be true. Yeah, everything he said might be false, but also on the other hand, I think this lawsuit came about because Drake is trying to re-up. He's due for a new contract with UMG,
right,
and he's trying to up the ante. UMG might have used this as a reason to say, man,
right,
we can't give you more than which we gave you last time because this just happened. So now you're not what the culture is feeling.
right,
So we gonna have to knock you down a couple
right,
of 100 million. And he probably was like,
right.
y'all feel
So
like y'all
so
could do
it,
this to me? Okay, let me show y'all what I can do to y'all. And now he blowing up the whole spot. Like you said, he
right.
didn't know what was going on because, you know what I'm saying, you in the business. Once you in the business, you start to learn stuff that
Mhm.
the general public doesn't know. So
Right,
now I
right,
feel like he
right. And
blowing up the
I
spot.
mean the red button song, the red button song
Ooh,
it kind of like gives you, so you could pull up some of the lyrics from the red button song,
yeah, yeah,
and you can see even that situation, whereas he's basically speaking on what's going on right now per se.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's kind of like speaking on a lot he's having within the labels per se. We didn't know what was going on when we heard it, but now you can put everything into context.
yeah. For
So
me, I feel like, but he reached the point of no return. Because where do you
yes,
go from
that's
here?
what I'm saying, and that's why the suing is exactly because how else do we clean up? The song is a good record. How else do? What else is left for me to clean up? I have to
Yeah,
clean up
clean face.
right now. How? The only way I can clean up right now is I have to tarnish this other situation. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a double-edged sword because at the end of the day, the culture is never gonna respect you suing someone over a diss record. The culture is never, ever, ever going to accept that. I don't care how whatever they're never gonna. He can go to court and they can prove that they use
Yeah,
bots.
yeah,
No one is gonna forget that feeling that they no. No one is gonna forget that feeling that they
yeah,
got when they first heard "Not
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Us,"
yeah,
including you.
yeah.
Know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you know that was when you had something you just know
Out of the park, home run,
everyone knew that was
home
it.
run.
Everyone knew that was it. Oh, now you could say, oh, I got tired of the song because they played it so much. But the impact that it had when it first dropped, that's undeniable. You know what I mean? It's just like I tell people, like I feel as though like the NBA helped Jordan in certain situations. And so you can listen to old players them speak, but that doesn't take anything away from his talent. You understand what I'm saying? I can't do what the league did with Jordan with Bronny.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You understand what
No
I'm
diss
saying?
to
Because it's
Bronny.
not gonna break some stuff. Bronny's a great player, but he's not that
Yeah, yeah,
player. And you gotta be good enough as LeBron for me to see. But now I can twist it for a little bit for you because you're that great. So I can't just go and take this nobody and make him great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's called like an
Off of
industry
no,
plant.
you have to accept. Come on, man. You
No, yeah,
understand?
yeah, yeah.
So
So labels definitely engaged in. I'll call it pouring gasoline onto the spark or the flame. If it's a little flame
exactly,
or a little spark,
exactly,
they can pour the gasoline on that. And the music industry has
exactly,
built a system off of perception. If if we could take this artist and 10 people like this artist, we can 10 to X that and make 100 people like it. All we got to do is repetition,
exactly,
keep embedding it, and then it'll go from a guy
exactly.
saying, I don't like that song, to seeing the reaction of everybody and saying, okay, yeah, that song grew on me, man. That's what they say when the song grew on me, but you
Right,
just
right,
didn't hear it enough. Another thing is when they say, when people say number ones or hit records are bought, this is what they mean when they say hit
right.
records are bought, because the money that you have to spend to ensure that it's a hit record and it's in the face and it's guerrilla marketed, this is what it takes.
Right,
Uh,
right, 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 right. Yeah, but I mean, but what I'm saying is, the song has to be of some
Substance. Yeah.
stature, some substance for us to even say, well, this could even work in that department, or we could even push this, or it has to have some type. It has to sonically sound good, you know. And I think for this situation, the pressure was too tall for Kendrick. The pressure was too tall for Kendrick for them to be able to actually do
Yeah.
that if the record
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Because if the record wasn't good, the fans would have been all over that. Oh no, you need to come back. Like the fans would have been all over. They would have known that. Whoa, they were able to add. If they were to add something to it, they added it because of the reaction of the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well we got to maximize this now. Ooh, everybody like this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Now so like you say, adding the gasoline to the little flame that's already
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and then,
But
then,
so let me ask you, like,
oh,
what's your go
no, I
ahead.
was gonna say, then Tuesday he follow up with a second action against UMG alleging defamation over Kendrick Lamar's false pedal claims. So now it's like you follow up, you double down on it. But man,
Yeah, you follow up with a set of claims like now you see that's what I'm saying. Now the second claims of defamation of character. That's what I'm saying. It's like you understand what I'm saying? It's like he's slipping. It's like he's slipping. It's like he got one more left on this left. It's like, boy, he's slipping. You get what I'm saying? That's how it seems. So now it's like defamation of character because, like I said, he has to he has to prove
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this isn't correct in order for him to have some type of value left.
Yeah, that's what we wondering too. I
Because, like
wondering
you
how you
said,
could
the
prove
game,
all of this.
right? And that's what like you said, the game. This is a game of perception. So if people don't think that that's what it is, that's what it is. From a business standpoint, okay, from a reality standpoint, it ain't that. That's what people don't think. But from a business standpoint,
Yeah,
what people don't think transfers over to dollars.
yeah. Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So because enough perception becomes the reality in the business world. It's just what it is. You know, especially in that world.
But
So
I mean, yo, we talking when you say defamation and suits, these numbers could get into the billions if he could win or find a way to win these cases.
wow.
So when you talking about what's at
Right.
stake, yeah, the people might say, "Oh, I can't believe he's suing over this record." But when you talking billions with a B,
Right. Because yeah, because that they could yeah, it could get up to
it could
billions.
get in
It could get up to billions.
multi-billions. You got to know what's at
Right.
stake. Yeah,
Right.
his music career might be
Right.
severed to where the whole industry want to turn their back on him and say, "Oh yeah, we can make it our priority that you don't have another successful records." But at the end of the day,
Right.
if he could come to victorious in these lawsuits, he could walk away with billions, dog.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah. And I mean and I think I see that.
that's scary, bro.
That's basically what he's that's no, that's what he's up
That's
against though.
scary because I
It's
say
scary,
this the type of
but
shit where
it's
you
the
can't sleep at night or you looking over your shoulder because you saying, but I don't know who out to get me. Like, this is when it gets
right. I
mafioso.
agree. I know. I totally agree with that part too. But this, what else is left for him to
Yeah.
do? Just sit down there and
Uh,
just turn a
the
vegetable.
other thing could have
So
been
it's like it's like he
the other
fighting,
thing could have been to just keep dropping music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Try to get away. Maybe he's using this as a way to get out of his deal too.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
could be
He might
true.
be like, okay, UMG don't
Could be
want to give me
true.
the money. And what else would make UMG walk away or say, let Drake go? You know what I'm saying? You got to blow up the
Right.
spot for them to be like, all right, bro, let's get this on the court. You go your way, I
Yeah.
go my way. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
But it's
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
the
And then
other thing is, where else would he go? We know it's three record labels: UMG, Warner, and Sony. Okay, he's at UMG right now. That relationship is tarnished. Warner, the CEO of Warner, is the son of the CEO of
of the
UMG.
sea.
So that's out of the picture. Bro, you just crossed my daddy. You think you can
So
come
you
over here
never
and
know.
cross me? Never. So the only other line of spot for him at this point is Sony. Now, would Sony say, oh, we got a free agent on the table, we could grab him up? Or would Sony say, maybe behind closed doors, UMG and Warner say, don't touch that. If I was you, I wouldn't touch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that
Right.
be
Like
going on. We talking big business, dog.
this big business because Drake is trying to protect his entire
Yeah, yeah,
entity.
yeah, yeah,
Drake is a person to everyone, but his name that's an
yeah, yeah, yeah,
entity. He's losing endorsements left
yeah,
and right.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
It's deeper than rock.
hey, this could get interesting, dog. I pay it,
Let me ask you.
but
Let me ask you a question. What's your prediction of the outcome of the situation? I want you to. What is your prediction of the outcome? I could give mine too. I don't have a prediction yet, but I'll think of one right now because I just thought of that question for
oh,
you.
absolutely, they could settle out of court for undisclosed amount.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's getting too big. Like, bro, the media will follow this all through the court system, and the last thing they want to do is blow up the sport to where they got to start submitting all of these things. I think UMG cuts Drake's a check and cuts him loose.
Mm. And then what? How do you think that's gonna transpire? How do you think that's gonna transfer to the media? Like, what would? How do you think that information is gonna transfer to the
And
media?
they can
Like,
say, UMG and Frozen Moments LLC settles out of court for undisclosed amount. Drake is now a free
mm,
agent.
mm. You thinking that? And then you think he's good? How do? Okay, how do you think his music career is gonna shape?
He could go sign with Sony. He could go sign with Sony, and you know he think highly of Michael Jackson, so he might.
Yeah.
I just hope his play, or maybe his play, is to go sign with Sony, or in the hopes of one day owning one of the big three. And if that's what he's after, I just hope he's way more calculated in those business move and acquisitions as he would more than he was in this battle with Kendrick and the
Battle with
battle with
Kendrick, right?
Pusha. Like you got to be way more calculated than you were in those two
Right.
battles in this business world, which
Right.
I think he I think he does. He could pull it off. If anyone could pull it off,
I
him. There's
my
two
whole
people that
thing
I
my
think that
whole
could pull it
my
off.
thing is,
Him and Taylor Swift.
it seems to me like it seems to me like he got to get the money and go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, as far as like, I don't know. See, music is music, and if something sonically sounds good, it sounds good. He's gonna have to go away for a while, maybe come out. As far as the hip hop culture is
Yeah.
concerned, I don't know if he's gonna ever be forgiven.
Yeah.
I'm talking about culture. I'm not saying that we're not gonna sit down there and listen to a song if it comes out. And I'm not saying that he can't make another hit record. I ain't saying none of that. As far as the culture is concerned, I don't know if he's gonna ever be like accepted into the culture again. But I'm not saying that you won't listen to his music or anything. I ain't saying none of that. But I'm saying like how he was such a staple in the culture per
Yeah, yeah,
se.
yeah. It's
I
gonna be
think
that
that
little
I think that
ostrich.
those days are
Yeah, it's
done.
that little ostrich.
I think those days are like, you know what I mean? Right. Because bottle is a part of the culture. It's kind of like you gotta like what you said is culture. Like he could have just kept
Yeah,
making
yeah,
music.
yeah.
From a culture
Yeah,
standpoint, that's the only right thing to do in this
yeah, yeah.
situation. From a culture standpoint, from a business standpoint, I get
Take
it.
it to the
But
courts.
like I say, when art and
But
commerce,
another thing was he tried to come to the table with UMG several times, and they told him, "Why are you bringing us to the table? You need to go sue Kendrick. Don't sue us."
yeah,
So
right.
this lawsuit was
And
after.
bring to the table.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I was saying this
go
lawsuit
ahead.
was after several attempts of trying to speak with UMG and getting nowhere.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It sounds sound like what like Lil Wayne and Kendrick.
Oh yeah, I saw that
See Joe
too.
Budden say Joe Budden say Lil Wayne reach out to try to reach out to Kendrick, didn't get a response, so he went directly to the studio. What you think about that?
Shoot, Wayne gets it. Wayne
Yeah,
was
it's war time though. I ain't talking to you for.
you could say that, but Wayne was going to the studio regardless. That just give him fuel for that day. Wayne will tell you every day he recording. That sounds like a good.
That's the truth. He was going to the
That
studio
just give him
regardless.
something
That's
to
the
talk
truth.
about that day.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think he should sit this one out and leave it alone. That's just me.
uh,
That's just me.
but yeah, man.
But I have fun.
hmm
It's
hmm
entertaining. I have
hmm
fun.
This one it makes for
Yeah.
great conversation, man. Yeah, so we'll see how it
Yeah.
go.
Facts.
Hopefully, we'll figure out
Yeah.
which predictions was on point and whatnot. But yeah, we could be
Yeah.
bringing y'all these auctions from time to time.
Next. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next on auction. We're gonna be bringing this to y'all anytime something hot
Yeah,
pop up. No, it can pop be the next thing we can pop
yeah.
up.
So stay tuned for the next auction. And stay tuned for the next episode of Talk That. Make sure y'all subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And shoot. Hey, chime in. Y'all get into the conversation. Drop them comments. Drop any questions that y'all want us to discuss moving forward. We can do it just like that, dog. Like I said, I go by Willie Waters.
East Stat, TBD, talk that.
Chill.